Hello students, welcome to Lexias Academy. In this particular video, we are going to discuss about a recent statement coming from the Vice President of India, Jagdeep Dhankhar, who has decided to resign from his post citing health reasons. So let us try to understand that is it the first instance in case of India where Vice President has resigned, or is there earlier cases as well, and what kind of cases those were. Now, first of all, to give you the context of this particular topic, in a significant political development, yesterday suddenly Vice President of India, Jagdeep Dhankhar, has resigned from his office citing health concern, and he also stated that he is following this after the medical advice he has received from the doctors as such and hospitals. He also at the same time has expressed gratitude for the support that was extended to him by the President of India, Prime Minister of India, Council of Ministers, Members of Parliament, and the people of India as such. Now, if we try to understand, Jagdeep Dhankhar still had a tenure of almost 2 years. In 2027, his tenure was to come to an end if he did not resign. And overall, if we talk about last 3 years, his term is also considered by many experts and scholars as very, very eventful from the perspective of Vice President. Actually, we try to understand, in the December month of 2024, he became the first Rajya Sabha chair. As you know, that Vice President of India is also the ex officio chairperson of Rajya Sabha. So he became the first Rajya Sabha chairperson against whom opposition parties have submitted a no confidence motion, because they have alleged that Vice President has always taken a side of ruling party. He has shown what you can call as a partiality in his decision making. And Dhankhar's tenure stood out for his also frequent statement that he has made against Indian judiciary, which was seen by many scholars, even opposition party members, as out of line with his constitutional posts as such. Also, today is the first day, yesterday was the first day of monsoon session, and he took government by surprise by allowing notice of motion. As you know that Justice Yaswant Verma, whose removal motion is already submitted in the Lok Sabha, then in the Rajya Sabha also at the same time he allowed 63 opposition MPs to submit this motion for the removal of High Court Judge of Allahabad as such. So this is something that also is considered as something unique in nature, or something that has not been done before as such. Now, if you try to understand about the Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar, he was a former governor of West Bengal and a well-known leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party from the state of Rajasthan. He had taken office of Vice President in the month of August 2022. His term, as we have discussed, was till 2027. As we know that as per the constitution rules and mandate, the President and Vice President hold their post for the period of 5 years since the day they take oath of the office. Also, interestingly, if we try to look at the reports, though the election of Vice President is done in a secret ballot manner, it is believed that Vice President has secured 74.37% of the votes, and that is the highest poll victory margin in the recent years if you compare with the other Vice Presidential election. Since at least 1992 elections, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar, we can say, has secured highest percentage of the votes of the electoral colleges. So this also is something that is interesting to know. Now we know that Vice President of India has resigned citing health concerns. So the constitutional article that deal with the removal resignation of the Vice President is dealt under the Article 67. Article 67 of the Indian Constitution discusses the terms of the office of Vice President, that I told you is for 5 years, and also it deals with the method of resignation. It also allows for the removal of the parliament if the conduct of Vice President is not as per the constitutional office, and also it ensures continuity of the office until a successor assumes the role. That means there is a clear-cut guideline that how elections can be held. But at the same time, we have to keep in mind that as far as the Article 67 is concerned, it allows a Vice President to step down by submitting a written notice to the President of India, and that is what Vice President has done. He has written the notice. He has written basically notice, a statement to the President of India, Draupadi Murmu, where he has decided that due to health concern, he has no other option but to resign as such. Now, the question that might come into mind, that what will happen next? Who will be the next Vice President? Now, obviously, if we try to look at the general trend, when the Vice President basically leaves his office after his terms come to end, now in that case it is mandated that within 60 days since Vice President demits his office, the elections has to be conducted. But on the other hand, there is not going to be any kind of a specific deadline in case of vacancy for Vice President. So unless a new poll is conducted, the chair will stay empty. The Vice President's post will now remain empty until the Electoral College of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha chooses a new name. And again, both the ruling party and opposition party will have to agree that who are going to be the next elections, next contesting this candidates as such. Now, before moving further in this particular topic, I would want to bring your attention to the fact that Lexias Academy, we're going to soon start our new batches on the 9th and 11th of August. Now, in this batch, we'll focus on comprehensive coverage of the GS papers, as you know that it is very, very crucial if you want to succeed in the civil services examination. We also have the options of one-to-one mentorship and the doubt solving sessions so that the students can get their doubts cleared before they can go home. And also we have regular interactions with the educator, and to ensure that this interaction remains at a maximum level, maximum extent, we have a strict policy of maximum 40 students per batch. Now also we know that as far as the UPSC civil services examination is concerned, we have to have an integrated approach to clear the examination. That means right from the start, you have to prepare for both prelims and mains, and at the same time you also have to this what you can call as prepare for the interview as well. So for that, daily mains answer writing practice can play a very important role. Also, many times just writing and reading is not enough. You also have to attempt tests so you can understand that where do you stand as far as the competition is concerned, and based on the feedback of this test, whether it is prelims test and mains test, you can then streamline your preparation. And that is what exactly we also focus on in our programs as such. As we know that UPSC also is asking both mains static based as well as current affairs based question. So 360-degree coverage of current affairs is something that also we aim in our programs. If you want to know more details about the features of the courses and any other detail, you can give a call to this number being displayed here, or you can click the link in the description box of the video. Now, coming back to this particular topic, though Vice President Dhankhar has resigned, it is not the first case in history of India when any Vice President has resigned from his post. Earlier, two such cases we can find out if you go back in the history. For example, the first resignation come during the year 1969 when the then Vice President of India, V.V. Giri, that is Venkat Varahagiri, he resigned from his post. Now, the reason why he resigned from his post is because the Dr. Zakir Hussain, who was the president, the then president of India, he suddenly died, and that is when V.V. Giri wanted to become president, so he contested elections. It was also this time when the Congress Party of India, the major party, the largest party of that time, was undergoing or was witnessing internal squabbles, we can say, where there was clear-cut factions forming in the Congress party, one faction that was supporting and was led by Indira Gandhi, and the other faction that was supported by the other Congress leaders, stalwarts of Congress, such as K. Kamaraj. Now, because of these squabbles, finally the Congress party decided to expel Indira Gandhi on 12th November 1969. So it is during these scenario of crisis, political crisis, we can say, we have the elections were scheduled for the President of India, and actually, if you try to understand, it was Dr. Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy who was a choice candidate choice for the president from the Congress party, but Indira Gandhi decided not to back him. Rather, he supported V.V. Giri, and during this election, because of the support received by Indira Gandhi, he was able to win the presidential elections by a narrow margin. So basically, what we can understand is the VP has resigned in this case, but the reason of resignation was to contest presidential election as such. The other such case we can understand from the year 1980s again, when you have R. Venkatraman. R. Venkatraman again was the Vice President of India, and he also resigned from his post to contest in the elections. That was the office of president that was left vacant due to the death of Gyani Jail Singh, the then President of India as such. And thus he became president in 1987, and he was President of India till 1992. So he completed entire 5-year term as such. So again, interestingly, it is just the third case of Jagdeep Dhankhar when a vice president has resigned during mid of his term. Now, if you try to understand, the timing of resignation also is believed to be coming at the time when it is a very, very politically sensitive movement we are seeing in the parliament, in the government, and basically we can understand the delay that is going on, because first of all, it is just today, the second day of monsoon season of parliament, and also it is coming at the time when we can see a clear-cut heightening of tension between the government of India as well as the opposition parties as such. And as we know that as the ex-officio chairperson of Rajya Sabha, the Vice President of India, that is Jagdeep Dhankhar, he used to have an assertive style, and that occasionally also has drawn criticism from opposition parties as such. Now, also interestingly, if you try to look at here, what is going to happen now, because we are in the middle of monsoon session. So who is going to take charge of Rajya Sabha? Now, if we try to understand, Parliament must initiate the elections for a successor as per the constitutional norm. But again, we have to be clear again here, the Prime Minister of India, most probably in consultation with the President of India, that is Draupadi Murmu, is expected to schedule the election process in compliance with the constitutional procedure. The elections can take place under the supervision of Election Commission of India under the presidential and vice presidential election rules as such. But till then, till a new vice president is not elected and then takes office, the chairpersonship of Rajya Sabha will be a temporary nature, and that will be largely heralded by the current deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha as such. So that is what is going to happen, at least as far as this particular monsoon session is concerned. Now, interestingly, if you look at the statement coming from one of the most important Congress leaders, Jayanagar, he also has stated that yesterday itself, Jagdeep Dhankhar, the Vice President of India, had chaired the meeting of Business Advisory Committee. And again, there has to be a second meeting of the same committee. But in this particular meeting, the Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju and the leader of the House, JP Nadda, did not show up. That means they have not come in the second meeting, and this is something that was not also told to the Vice President as such. This kind of situations also, he has said, that point to the fact that there was some kind of what you can call as a divergence in the opinion and views between the government of India and Vice President that might have led him to resign from his post. Also, he has stated that he has given health reasons for doing so. Those should be respected. But it also is a fact that there are far deeper reasons for his resignation. He has clearly stated that it's more than what meets the eye. Vice President of India might not have just resigned for the health reasons. He might have resigned due to political differences and all. So this is another angle that opposition is trying to bring. But we have to understand that as far as the official reason is concerned, as far as the reason given by Vice President himself is concerned, he has clearly cited health reasons and the advice of his doctors and institutions, hospital as such. So that is all about this particular video. If you like the video, please like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel for more such content. Thank you very much.